Today we have with us Sara Escamilla with Creative Nourishment Design. Hey, Sara.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So I am so excited to have you on today to talk about your business. I've known Sara for years, and I'm so excited about her business and how it could help um, myself, clients, people that already own homes, create nourishment from their backyard. So, Sara, can you tell us about your business?
Yes, Creative Nourishment is my place where I can support everyone in really developing their landscape. And for me, that happens in a number of ways. Every homeowner is so unique in what they want to do in their space, how they want to see their landscape, how they want to feel in their landscape, and those kind of things. So, I really consider myself as a guide to help people understand what they want, define their vision, their hopes and dreams, and then help them work a plan to, have the space they want and hopefully use their space more outside, their outdoor living space.
Okay, okay. And then so part of your design is incorporating nourishment through your landscaping. So can you talk about some of the popular designs or the most trendy designs, I would say, that people are
Mhm.
interested in incorporating into their landscape?
Mhm. I think the biggest for everyone, regardless of what type of aesthetic that you want, is really low maintenance.
Mhm.
So people want their landscape to be as beautiful as possible through as much of the year as possible, with the least amount of input and work. And so most people hire someone to come by, and they want that to still maintain as something simple and easy that they can kind of just have the person come and do their own work. And
Mhm.
then a lot of people do like to spend a little bit of time outdoors in their space. And so in those cases, same thing. They don't want all this work overload with an extra thing to do. They
Mhm.
just might want some simple things, clip some flowers, get some fruit or just something simple. So that will be the first trend. It doesn't go away, low maintenance. And then people are really wanting to incorporate more edibles into their space. So in my business, I kind of split the design is somewhat split as far as the plants between edible plants and native plants.
Mhm.
The native plants bring the beauty, they
Okay.
bring the low maintenance, um, and easy to care for, etc. But people want some fruit in their space, or they want some fresh tea. They want to have a little kitchen garden, even if all they have is some herbs. They
Mhm.
want to grab the herbs and throw it in their meal just to finish it or whatever. So the edibles and then just the maintenance are really what everybody would like.
Mhm. So tell us about the process when we start off with the consultation. What is the start to finish process of working with your company?
Great. It really depends on the person's budget and their goals.
Mhm.
But for everyone, I start with a strategy session that they can book on my website or through my social media. It's a free 30-minute phone call where I can really get to know them, what they want, even just thinking outside of what's possible, what's their dream, and then learn what their needs and any problems they're having so I can help put together a customized plan and offering for them to help them achieve their goal.
Mhm.
And then from there, I create a unique client portal so that they can kind of start some basic steps, have some little home assignments. It could be as simple as just observing your landscape or, figuring out their wish list, things like that. And then we move forward into either the design process where I come to their site and just begin to take stock and analyze to do a straight design, or I also have programs where they can participate in creating their own design and learning more about their landscape. And those are also more affordable. So, depending on which route they're going, if I'm doing all the work for them or if it's a collaborative process, then it kind of gears them one way or the other.
Okay, cool. So I know for myself, I am really interested thinking about vegetables in my backyard.
Mhm.
So for that, the end, you're right. I do need something low maintenance. So if I was so if I were to think about adding some vegetables to my garden, what are some of the vegetables that you would recommend just to start that I start thinking about incorporating?
hmm I think if like for yourself, I would say if you're doing it all by yourself without the kids or your husband or anything like that, I would keep it the most simple as possible. They say start small. And we in permaculture, we say start at your back door, which is your zone zero home. So for
Mhm.
you, I would just say um, that you would want to maybe have a very, very small herb garden
Okay.
and to only put in there something you know that you would use each time. And then from there, I would actually even just something as simple as a wine barrel. That would be what I would recommend for you. I would recommend for Ria a wine barrel planter.
Okay.
And
I have like 6 of them in my
I
backyard. So we're
know.
that's a good start.
There you go. So, um, but then I would even part of the design is like, where do you put it to make it the least amount of effort for you?
Mm,
So, and how to bring yourself joy. So, just with as simple as a single one wine barrel, I would still say, well, where is the closest spot that you could have it? And not just random, really, like when you're cooking, where are you cooking? Are you grilling more often? Are you actually getting takeout, but you want to, maybe add something to it? And so then I would figure out the space for that. That would be just literally the physically closest to you. And
mhm,
then also maybe if there's a spot where you wash dishes or cook or look out from your kitchen,
mhm,
that would be the other consideration to the placement would be you seeing it because it will remind you you have some chives if you just want to throw some chives or
mhm.
oregano or parsley or whatever. So even something like that, I would just start really small. If you have other family or the kids want to grow something, I would just choose like just one thing outside of that.
Right. Okay, well, I am excited and I want to get started. And you're right. When I first thought of a design for the backyard, I'm just thinking about all these vegetables and fruits and herbs, but you're right. It's just like, okay, I didn't think about the maintenance of it, and what that entails. And so I guess if somebody is actually caring for my backyard and I'm not caring for it, I would need to have somebody that's pretty versed in edibles to actually
Yes.
maintain my garden properly,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, you could also add in if you were ready to transform your landscape, but not, I just would move away from vegetables and go towards like 100% a fruit tree. There's
Mhm.
some like drought tolerant fruit trees um, and things like that where it's a low amount of work to put in. And
Mhm.
it's only a couple of times a year that you would need to add some compost or do something basic. So if you're ready and you want yours Ria, then I would say definitely get a fruit tree
Mhm.
and get a few native flowering plants to support that tree's health. Um, and then the vegetables are definitely a little bit more high energy, high need, and specialty.
Well, I think about, I don't know if you remember, but my grandmother, she had tomatoes growing at one time on the side of the house, and
Yeah.
tomatoes are so expensive, and I love tomatoes. And
Tomatoes.
so I wouldn't even say vegetables. I say, I want to grow my own tomatoes.
That's it. No, and I would say that's it. If you want tomatoes, I think you can handle tomatoes and you're healthy. And most people can, and that's a good way to start. What do you want?
Mhm.
We're still going to get the grocery delivery or we're going to go to the farmer's market. But yeah, what is the one thing that both costs a lot, but also tastes so much better fresh?
Right,
So
right.
yeah, tomatoes, that's it.
It's just like a
Have
little piece of
uncovered.
my, yeah, it's like a little piece of my childhood. It's like my grandmother had tomatoes, my great grandmother had strawberries. And so just little things like that just basically remind me of childhood, you know? And
Aw.
so, yeah.
Everybody has those memories. That's what I do love about the aspect. The nourishment is it is the body and the mind and the spirit.
Mhm,
So that aspect is nourishing all three. And
mhm,
most of us don't really grow our own food or tend to the garden or whatever, but all of our grandparents, at least one of them did. And so it is a way to stay connected to that part of ourselves and our culture by bringing back those things. And you can have strawberries too.
Well, thank you so much, Sara, for sharing your business with us. If someone wanted to contact you for a consultation, we'll have your information in the comment section of our YouTube video, but can you tell us how to contact you?
Yes, of course. 100% just go to my website, creativenourishmentdesign.com. And from there, you can book the free strategy session. And you can also sign up for my newsletter, which is just a quarterly newsletter.
Okay. And then we didn't say where you're located and how far you'll travel.
Yeah, I'm located in Sacramento. So usually for some of my services, I stay relatively local. But depending on what the client is looking for, if they, need a full design, or I also do sellers consultation. So if they're looking to sell, I can support them in what kind of choices to make to, you know, bump up the curb appeal before they get ready to sell and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, so most of the areas that you serve, depending on the need and client, I could potentially go to.
Great, great. Well, thank you again for joining us, and we hope to see you again soon here on the Fabric of Real Estate.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, my sharp needles, thank you for joining another episode of the Fabric of Real Estate. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.